2019 is the number. Brothers and sisters, welcome. You are live. Welcome in the world right now to another segment of Brother on the Earth Mama Network. I am your host, Brother Keon. Today, my special guest is one of my originators, my elders, my OGs. He's someone in my corner in terms of my counsel. He's someone I seek counsel with all the time, discussing, matters of the hearts, ideas, thoughts, creativity, and so on and so forth. He's poured into me since the day of my birth. He's an entrepreneur. He's a father. He's a working class man. I love his mind. I love his heart. And a lot of what you get from me on the regular, this is the source, right? This is one of my inspirations, man. This is my Uncle Glenn. He is Uncle Peace King.
All the time, love you to no end.
Always. Thank you for joining ourselves today. First and foremost, thank you for making time. You in New York right now, so I know it's 9 o'clock your time. I know you busy, man. The grind don't stop. I see your shirt right now. I want to talk about Levincia a little bit. I want you to put that out there. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and then we get this thing underway.
Yeah, I'm Glenn. Bailey's the last name. Well, funny, my middle name is Floyd.
You said your middle name is Floyd. Yeah.
My middle name is Floyd. Yeah, it's just so ironic, but with what's going on in this society right now, it's 2020 and 2020, and this society is showing us clarity whether we want to accept good, it could be evil, which is both in the society. And what took place in Minnesota, the brother lost his life because of one breath. It just goes to show you what is important, what's the most significant of all significant.
What you're saying is important. Try to relocate yourself. You're going in and out.
Of life, critical of all critical things on the face of this earth, and it's the easiest things to do. Yeah, the breath of life is the blueprint for the order of society, and for you to do things supposed to do the correct way. Meaning, you got to be even in fear. Society has to follow that blueprint. You know, and be the best. Man, oppressing man, you inhale. It's never going to work. It's only going to bring you what? Pain and suffering. And that's what it's doing to this society right now. And we have the most beautiful people, but they call us black. That's we're going to that time. We're the thumb on that. We got to change our whole entire concept, mentally, physically, spiritually, economically, and socially going forward. We have no other choice. And the thing about it, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. A lot of problems that we have, that we facing, because we accept the so-called brainwashed thing called belief. That's one of the worst things to do in the society. If you're in the jungle and you're surrounded by enemies, the last thing you want to do is believe. Only thing is for you to know. And we as a people in society, that's where our downfall is. We are lacking knowledge and know-how. We had it before. We have it. It's just deep-rooted now. It's buried, but we have to bring it to the forefront. It's not to believe going forward in this society. It sounds good. Oh, I believe. But no, as an adult, a man king, and as a woman queen, we have to know. And this is what we need to go forward and changing all our problems. all our problems can be
So
solved.
you said it's not good enough to believe. We have to know, right?
I have to know, yes.
And knowing has a lot to do with studying, right? And look at what came before you, the cycles of life, even if you will, right? History is very
Yes.
important. Um, though this is unprecedented times. We haven't seen a time
Mm-hmm.
specifically like this, but
Right.
we've had similar uprisings over the course of I'll even go far as saying several hundred years, because our ancestors, those on the plantations, we didn't just we still African, so they didn't just take everything laying down. There was uprisings, there was rebellions. As recent as we even had the 1942 Tulsa, Oklahoma, uprising and things of that nature. Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever seen anything like
Right.
this in your lifetime or something similar?
They had in 1977, and I give it a time. It's approximately 7:20 or 7:30 p.m. July 13th. They had a blackout, and folks was looting and rioting and stuff like that.
Mm,
You know, and they literally they tore. What happened was some of the neighborhoods that they tore up never
mm,
came back up to prominence. Never came back. As a matter of fact, with this gentrification that's
mm,
going on, this prominence from blackout of 1977 did. They tore it up, and folks is complaining about the losing rioting. And to add to what you said about Tulsa, Oklahoma, when the Caucasians had uprise, they burnt almost everything to the ground. Right?
mm,
They tore it up, as well as many lives was lost
mm,
for absolutely no reason at all.
mm,
Now today you complain about folks looting and tearing up. It's only a residue of what you do. This is just a reflection of what you do, of what's the rest of society. So, and most of these big companies got insurance, so they're not really crime.
mm.
It's unfortunate, like the young was maybe hit hard, but the major ones, they got insurance. It's just a matter of time before they rebuild them, and they'll be back up. But I want to say this about going on in this pandemic, and
Because it's interesting, everything happened at one time, right? Is it not?
exactly. This society is telling, where I'm seeing it, is telling the folks that, listen, tomorrow, when I say tomorrow, when everything comes back so-called up to normal, you're going to appreciate every single thing going forward. All what you took for granted, these moments is showing you that what we had, we're taking it for granted. So when we come out, you're going to appreciate everything around you that's built, whether it's nice
Mm,
construction, or
mm,
nice neighborhoods,
mm,
nice go, nice dining. Everything now going forward, you're going to truly appreciate it. This is all.
mm,
It's like they're telling you don't eat nothing right now. When you build up your appetite, when we give you food, you'll appreciate it. Because if we give you food now, you're going to most waste it.
mm,
So this side is showing me that, you hold them back, deny them this, detain them this for a minute. So when they do come out, they'll appreciate everything around them. That's all I see with this pandemic. And it's a pandemic. It's not a natural order. That's my opinion, and that's my take on it in
I
regard.
hear you.
But
I
huh?
No, I was gonna say, I personally feel like where we are, um, the state of existence, it's the inevitable,
It is. It
right?
is.
It's the
It is.
inevitable. Um, it was bound to happen universally,
Yes.
mathematically, logically. This was bound to happen.
Yes.
In my own equation, I always knew that it would be a black life taken that would send the people into the stage we in. I think that part of it is also the fact that during COVID season, right,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's home,
Right.
millions of jobs lost, children are home, people are turning to their devices and television. And the fact that this happened in this season, you was forced to see. You couldn't look away.
Right.
You couldn't look away. Not just here in the United States, but across the globe.
Global, yes.
And that's the reason for the urgency of the response that we're getting. Excuse me, because we know that these things been happening before. It's been on the social media before. It's been on the news before. But people had the option of, turning a blind eye or work and been too tired. I didn't see it, whatever the excuse is.
Faith.
But I knew that it would be something to this magnitude that would send, starting at least here in America, into a plunge.
Mm-hmm.
As we see, the world is caught on. New Zealand, Germany, the UK, Malema is raising up down in South Africa right now. The whole world is watching, right? So this being the inevitable, what do you think is next? Your personal opinion, your personal thoughts. What do you think is next after this?
Two things, Nev. Two things. I just want to reiterate something. Go back. It's that breath, that one breath. Look how much money economically it caused globally. That one breath. When he lost that one breath, when he couldn't breathe no more, it's one breath that he lost. That one breath that everybody under the sun has to do. If you miss one breath, include myself, we're not here no more. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So that right there, stay going forward, that in 2020 globally, we as a people have no other option but to tell them, like exhale is fair. They got to play fair globally on every single thing on the face of this earth that every human being encounters. What I mean by that is Caucasians can't dominate this, own and control everything, and certain people have little or nothing. No, that has to stop.
I hear you, but I don't think it's in them to play fair, right? So
it's not their choice. It's not their choice. See, a bully's not going to play fair. A bully going to bully, as you know. But when you punch that bully in his face, that bully will turn. Remember the American Revolution, the British and the American, the colonies, they killed each other. Look at them today. They're allies.
And close allies too, huh?
Inhale, exhale. That's inhale, exhale is. Now, our people, black people, don't have a nature to kill another human being for no reason. We just don't. We don't have that. We are the most. We're complete and perfect. I'm gonna say that. That's why it's not gonna happen. We don't do that right out. We have a complete and perfect. We will live and let live. We don't put the value on money. Literally, and that's the game we playing.
I missed that. Your phone went out.
We don't put value on money. Caucasians do that, but this is playing right now. So we got to play, because when so-called black folks get money, they spend it. You know what I'm saying? Which it's just like inhale, exhale. When you get it, you give it back with the intention to get more and let it out. That's the natural thing to do. If every race did the same thing, there would be no problems. But when you want to hoard a breath and hold it on, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. Let it go, because you're not taking it with you. No. You know what I'm
saying? Brother Boogs just said in the comments that he predicts a notable change within a year. I hear you, Aunt.
And see, it's not them have to do the change. It's us. It's us has to do it. And it's a flicker that starts to flame that creates an inferno. Individually, we flicking. We can flick individually. Start a flame, we get. They can't stop an inferno of truth, an inferno of righteousness. They can't stop it. Many empires did the same nonsense of yesterday, and they had to fall. It,
The
so
flicker, the flame, the inferno.
yeah, yeah, it has to
And
be.
we definitely at an inferno now. I personally believe that the ones in the upper crust, they panicking.
Mm.
They
Yeah,
they they they
yeah,
really
yeah,
panicking. But why they panicking, they also
yeah.
planning and plotting. You see people protesting
Well,
peacefully. Um,
hmm
Motherfuckers looting and shit. That's all fine and dandy. But they actually brought in the guns. Even if they're not pointing the guns at you, they got them in position. And
hmm
I had to speak to a crowd yesterday. Briefly, I'm gonna say I had to speak to a crowd yesterday because the ongoing protests and rallies. And I noticed across the states, some people it's turning into a party, right? I'm seeing motherfuckers electric sliding and Cupid shuffling. I have to tell them, what I
hmm
mean, like, yo, party in the USA ass niggas. It is not time to party right now. You know what I mean?
Talk,
I
real
think
talk.
that we actually are with this specific murder and lynching, modern lynching of George Floyd, and the
And
response of the people.
excuse me, that was a Nazi. That wasn't a cop. That was a Nazi. We're gonna go in that another time.
Okay, we gonna get right back to that then. And I
Yeah,
absolutely believe he was because for you to do that, for you to sit on somebody's neck casually and just squeeze the life out of them, that hate has to come from somewhere. It's not. We know that's deep rooted. But I'm seeing the people
yeah.
partying right now, and I do understand coming together in the spirit of togetherness. Um, you see white people turn up and turn out uh,
hmm
uh, who just last month couldn't get. You can't have a change of heart. Even if you're listening now, cool. But your trial and your fire has yet to come. Because what I'm saying is the way we taking them to the brink, or the way we took them to the brink to where COVID 45 brought in the military. The people is not
hmm
necessarily ready. We ready for change and we want change,
Right.
but
Facts. That's fact.
change is freedom costs blood.
Hmm
You understand me? Freedom costs blood. And most of the people are not ready for what it costs. You out here dancing with us when them bullets start flying and the sounds of is you gonna be
hmm
dancing to that kind of
Never
thing.
think
So
they're gonna
pardon me, I'm
run.
gonna finish real fast. I'm saying I think this is it's a sign for the people to get ready, right? We
Right.
could push them to the brink.
hmm
I don't think we're ready to go over the brink because a lot of people's not willing. This is America where we still we still sheltered. We don't know what it really looked like. You know what I
Right.
mean? Uh, but we take them to the brink. We go back, retreat, if you will, and now it's time to get ready. Now it's time to get healthy, right? Now it's time for you to learn how to plant your own food. Now it's time for you to weaponize your mind. Now it's time for you to weaponize physically, protect yourself, and go into these drills, safety, and all these other things. I think, me personally, I think that's where we at, right? In the midst of um, reform and these things that we asking for, we no longer asking for. We telling them we want reform, we want change, we want to dismantle, you know, um,
Mhm.
those things. Me personally, I believe that's where we are.
Right.
That's the brink that we on. What do you say to that?
I'm gonna give you a little scenario. The violence or so called force. Ice. That's the last piece. That's the last that goes on top of the cake if it's needed. Because some cake don't need icing. You know what I'm saying? The cake, which is usually thick like this, more like this, but usually most the icing on the cake, right?
Mm.
The doing for ourselves. Great. You know what I'm saying? A vampire goes after blood, and this society is vampirish, and their blood is money in the economy. And we as a people have to cut that off, cut that off to the fullest, and use the same laws that they use against us. We use it against them. First of all, stop the nonsense in the street. Educate yourself and put knowledge in your crown. Facts, evidence, because a person that win anything doesn't have fear. Fear is not there for winners. Confidence, know-how. You get your confidence from the evidence. Evidence. life from facts of truth, nature.
Mm.
Nature shows you everything. Every single animal. If you treat a person like an animal or a race like animal, there's one thing. There's a universal order and law of the jungle. Every single animal have the right to kill with no remorse. Every animal has the right to kill with no remorse. So be careful how you think you're going to treat. If you think you treat human beings like animals, every animal kill.
And that's
Yeah, and it's a right. They have a right to kill. They have a right to kill. And God forbid the day come. See, the average black folks is pretty much trapped. Not saying trapped, but love the materialistic society of life. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to give that up.
right.
But they fuck everything, and we go after. You know what I'm saying that's the last thing. That's the last thing. So in this, we got to get. We are, it's based on economics and know-how. We got to start creating. You know what I get from that, Neff? Of course, he's not there to be liked. He's there for business, and we got to handle it for business. The
Mm.
so-called slaves, so-called black people, was the one that made America great in the first place, from building everything. And when slavery was over, blacks didn't know they were creators, they were builders, master fucking builders. So that being said, the slave masters and owners and children, whoever were they didn't know how to do it, hard work. They wasn't really grinding. You know they didn't know how to do it. So going forward, eventually the blacks was going to take over America in building and creating this society and economy.
Yeah.
Caucasians saw that because they didn't have the true skills. So what they did, they took business and corporations. You feel me? They
Mm-hmm.
took the business out of it, but blacks didn't have. They had the skills, but we didn't have the corporate suave know-how, international trade business, and da 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 da. Caucasians have that, and they took the companies and stuff over Asia for cheap labor. Cheap labor and slavery is almost the same thing.
It is the
You know,
same thing. Yeah.
and as a result of that, now you see what's going on with Asia. America owes them money out the yang, so now they want to be the sport back over here. So all this shit here, this pandemic and this global, it's to level the global economy. You remember when you play dominoes and you're shuffling and your hands? This is what the societies they're shuffling the dominoes right now. To
Mm.
play. This is how they doing it. Instead of they'll what trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. They can't pay that back. So they tear shit down. And they're gonna try to bring jobs back. This is where we got to pay attention with what's going on in the economy now with um, George Floyd and buy black, build back. We have to start building again and doing our own thing. And this time, my nephew, it will never, ever, ever be like Tulsa, Oklahoma. It will never be like that again. It will never be like that again. This is what we got to learn from. We did it once, we could do it to infinity, but make sure that shit never happens. 24/7 on guard. Just like how inhale is next to exhale. If you want to look at a negative point of view on that,
Mm-hmm.
inhale stays exhale. I'm watching you like you watching me. You make the slightest move, I'm making the slightest move too. You bring a noose, I'm bringing a noose too. You bring your gun fully loaded, I'm bringing my gun fully loaded. You want to empty yours, I'm gonna empty yours. You want to shoot my child, I'm gonna shoot your child. That's the only way it's gonna work. Justice, my nephew, is a mirror. It's a mirror. Remember, vampires couldn't see their reflections. And all vampires was what? Rich. There was
White.
no poor
Oh.
vampire. Yeah, there was no poor vampire. Rich meaning money. Okay? And the moral to the story is that them vampires was blood sucking people, but they couldn't see people blood sucking them. That's why they couldn't see a reflection in the mirror. What I do to you, you couldn't see me doing it back to you. You know, I could punch you in your face, but I can't see you punching me back. No, bro, give me that mirror. I'm gonna show you the mirror, because for whatever you do, you're getting it back.
I'll say this: racism, white inferiority complex, what they call supremacy, but it's an inferiority complex.
It is.
It's
It is.
violent. Racism is violent.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we are here right now, I don't see, um, them extreme racists, and we know who they are. They the ones up in the hills. They in New York, up north in the woods. They live in the city. These places out here. I don't see them turning over without, you know, without the gun.
Yeah.
I
Which
think
see,
COVID-45 is a dog whistler. He's
mm-hmm.
whistling loud, and they coming. I think while we out here partying in the USA and dancing at rallies, them crackers is up here
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been training for. We ready. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah. You got facts on
this
that.
is what
You
my
got.
thing is. So this is where I personally see it going.
Mm-hmm.
With the law reforms, you had those two pigs in Buffalo who pushed the old white man over and bust his head. You see how they did their own white people. You see how they did their elders, bust his head
Mm-hmm.
and kept it stepping. Those
Mm-hmm.
same 57, they resigned, right? Um, with they resigned because the police benevolence fraternity order, right? They
Mm-hmm.
told them they told them 57, yo, they suspending these two of y'all brothers. The rest of y'all resign just from this. These are the same ones who would lose their job, whether it be quit or go fire or get fired, and be them same rogue ones out there, right? They're just a symbol of what's really behind the scenes,
100%.
right? So my personal message is for the people to really get ready for what's to come. America is overdue. Universally, logically, it's overdue for another war and or civil war. The people has always been divided:
Mm-hmm.
black, white, rich, poor, Republican, Dem. There's always we just found a ways to quote unquote coexist. But with George Floyd murder, and people jump inside, you see white people turn to white people. White people
Yeah.
calling the manager on themselves and on each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's at.
Yeah.
The war ain't gonna be between us. It's gonna be between white people and white people who set it off because they're on the side of the people. This is just my own personal observation, my
I
feelings.
I agree, because my take is this: the average human being, black, white, whatever you want to call it, just want to live and let live. You know what I'm saying? That's where I feel. They just want to
Mm,
live and live. While you have a certain amount of certain people that, no matter what, they got an inferior complex or whatever the case may be, they're just not happy. They're just not happy when they see other human beings. They want to bring chaos, confusion, madness, and mayhem, and then they will turn around and act like they want to save the day. All that's not
yeah.
needed. All that's not needed. You know what I'm saying? Because when you lay down and go to sleep, everybody, no matter how so-called gangster you are, how bully you or bully whatever president, you can get a bullet in your head.
Straight up.
You know?
Straight
So
up.
the baddest of the baddest for what? This is not we put. That's not what we're put on this earth for. Greatness, my nephew. Greatness. They are filled with differences. Differences together is what makes anything you want to make, even ingredients to a food or dinner plate. It comes with ingredients, differences.
Mm,
Pepper, salt, vinegar, different. They come together.
mm,
You know what I'm
mm.
saying? Anything or food or something don't taste good because it's lacking something. You know what I'm saying?
I
Anything
hear you.
that has equal proportion, and it's the human. It's the same game. It's the same principle. And everything
Mm.
go down better when the ingredients is put together correctly. Every race, so-called, have something to give to the human race, but
I hear you.
this society right now is trying to be what all white. It's not gonna work. It doesn't work. It's not gonna
So
work. It's just the that on this. Your whole entire body consists of different organs. Imagine your body one organ. How would you look?
Yeah, yeah,
Eyes
yeah,
and you know,
yeah.
look
Everything got to play its part.
exactly.
So
And,
what do you
and
think?
huh?
What do you think the part of black men, right? Specifically, the world is, they come into our beckon. As a black man, right? A black man was murdered, and we know, and it's not just us,
Mhm,
it's our people, it's our women, our children, Ayanna Stanley Jones, Tamir Rice,
mhm,
Breonna Taylor, right? But the world is coming to the beckon of a black man who pled for his mother, right? Just to
mhm.
show you that our sisters are important. He pled for his mother, and a lot of people were summoned. What do you think the role of? Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna ask you. I feel personally the next step that will bring about the change that we want to see is the unity in black men, right? I think personally that when black men come together, things change overnight. When we stand up, when we assume our role, our birthright, our inheritance of who we are and the power that we have,
Mhm.
um, organized, unified, channel that and mobilize
Mhm.
and act accordingly, I think everything else falls into order.
That's a natural
Um,
order,
what do you
universal order.
think? What do you think the role of black men, um, right now? What do we do now? What are some of the things?
The main thing, the main thing is to look at each other. Look at each other as a solution, not a problem. That's the first thing. Folks say my brother. The word brother means solution. I mean, so if we're gonna say we're brothers, we're only looking at each other as a solution for each other, not no enemy. That's the first thing we gotta start. Looking at each other as, I see him, oh, that's the solution over there. Or I see him, that's the enemy. No, you don't see him as the enemy. We have to see each other as brothers, period. And mean it. And mean it. And mean it. And absolutely mean it. Not just yo, my brother, and then talk crap. We have to do that.
So,
That's the first thing.
so behaviorally speaking, right? What does that look like?
Yeah.
Some of the changes
Huh?
that, behaviorally speaking, what does that look like? Give me one or two
Behavior.
examples. Yeah, just one or two examples. Nothing in depth, but because I think personally we have to switch it up. You know, the world follows our lead as Black Americans and as men and as Black women.
One of the first things, that if folks was to really with this crime thing, black on black crime,
mm,
that right there has to cease. No ifs, ands, and buts. You know, just
yeah,
just just stop that right there abrupt. When I say stop it abrupt, stop it up here abruptly. Then later it will gradually wean itself out, and then you start seeing a change. We gotta bring when I see you or you see me, you know, I have to have a solution for you. Whether it's you ask me a question, and I want to use a little scenario. You know, I cut a fruit, and how many seeds are in an apple? I'm asking you, how many seeds in an apple?
oh, I didn't know. I know they was. I don't know how many. I don't know how many. What's 10,
Okay,
12?
I expect that, and I'm giving you a little scenario like that. See, I'm supposed to have a solution for you. You know what I'm saying? If I see you
Mm,
next, there's 4 seeds or 5 seeds in an apple. Okay, cool. I'm giving you information and knowledge and facts.
mm,
I'm just using this. We have to give each other information, knowledge, and facts. One day you pass it on to any other little kid out there, whoever. He's on a test, writing a test. How many seeds in an apple, Johnny? Oh, boom, boom, boom. We give each other solutions. It's something that we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because we eat fruits
mm.
practically every day or almost every day for decades, and some of us don't know that. And it's there. This is just a little simple facts that you don't need a book
I
to
hear
read.
you.
You feel me?
It's catechism. It's catechism.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have to
We
teach each other. We have to teach each
got
other.
to give each other facts and solutions now, because we all everybody walking around looking like this want to know, because I'm gonna use the word niggas keep shit to themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
he know this and he don't want to tell, or he know where to get this and he don't want to tell. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb shit. Got to end. Oh, I'm the only one that copped this. I'm the only one that bought this. Yo, man. For what? They're trying to sell all the can to the people. Why are you trying to hold back? You know what I'm saying? Folks be reluctant to hesitate to ask, yo man, where he got them shoes from? Or where he got that, where she got the dress from? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just telling, bro, it's over there. I got it such and such on sale, da 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 da. Give it to them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I always hated the I always hated the saying the game is to be sold, not told. I feel like if
Yeah.
it's good for you, it's yours by universal, by universal order. If
Hmm.
I have something that's good for you, I shouldn't put a penny on it. Shouldn't put a dollar on it, a dime, a number.
Yeah.
And I do believe that what's next, our unity is what's next, and whatever that looks like, whether it be um, our build exclusively within ourselves, international wealth, right? What can we create for ourselves? Definitely legislation, and really not asking for nothing, but dismantling and creating reform in certain areas, and how we start to govern ourselves after this, because it'd be a damn shame, I tell you this, for the world to stop
Hmm.
behind the death of one of us, and we continue with the nonsense. I mean,
Yeah.
just last night, two brothers and two brothers was killed, shot and killed on my old block, and and this is at a graduation party. So I think it would be shameful, and so that's what I'm saying about us
The black on black
dealing
stuff.
with, but even that, but just us taking care of at home issues. And I like to have most of these conversations private. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
It's
when I say
supposed to.
private, it's not outside talk. It's not for them. We know the
Right.
certain things we got to do, but that's reserved amongst us. I'm just saying that to say where I feel this is going next is definitely in the unity of our people and
Yeah.
how we manage and how we govern ourselves.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
how.
um, and that police reform and all that's a part of it too. Because once we get them out of our hair, we left to deal with our own issues. We build from there. How
Right.
has all of this been making you feel? What kind of toll has it taken on you, if any? Whether it
It,
be emotionally, psychologically, mental, spiritual. How is all this, the change?
it has given me inspiration, believe it or not. It has given me inspiration because they have to say that order. And I have a saying, right? It's a new world order. It's time for us to get our shit in order. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And we have to do it. Reality, illusions breed confusion. And this is 2020. This is 2020. This is 2020. As a grown man, as an adult, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm in the driver's seat. I can't act like a backseat driver when I'm driving in the driver's seat. This is where I'm at in life right now. And this is what it's showing me. I'm driving to my destination. I gotta pay attention. I gotta be sharp. Ain't no BS and bullshit games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now we win our crowns. And men's supposed to do that. The so-called black men, we driving now. Children,
Mm-hmm.
our nature, our now. But we've been acting like backseat drivers. Caucasians been driving this. It's time for them to get the fuck out, and we driving now. We gotta drive.
I heard you.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta drive. It's not hard. Grown ass man is backseat drivers in life. Nah. You know what I'm saying, man? Yo, you know what I'm saying, man? Yo, backseat man. The fuck is that? You doped up. I had to blast this dude out on where I work at. I said, yo, you's a selfish ass. You on drugs. You doped up selfishness. Because you can't give a child behind you. A child is watching you. You can't give him nothing, whether it's your child or not. It's a child. It's one of ours. And you doped up out of your mind. That's being selfish. You know? So, that's come to reality. And it's, it's for it to happen, but when folks are ignorant and choose ignorance as a way of life, these are the result of what you're going to get. And our people, sorry to say it, have to stop the believing and hoping and praying and faith and start fucking knowing. Start,
I 100% agree.
start
I
knowing.
100%. It's time to be in the know. We have no excuse,
No, no, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Excuses is played out. information, whether it be good information, knowledge. Right now, but information is at your fingertips now. That if
Yeah.
you want to know, you can know. You can ask Google. You have people in the community, the transfer of information. It's a lot of misinformation and things to cipher through. But once you begin the journey, you know, um, information will fall at your lap. Things will start to make sense or don't make no sense. You know how to filter what you need to filter in order. But yeah, I agree with you, Unc, man. It's time for the no. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
And I think the people are just gonna be. It's the time for separation, right? The wheat from the tear, the
Yes.
workers from the ones who's not working, the doers from the ones who's not doing, the ones who's gonna add to the agenda to further our progression as a people, and then as a species as well, because um it's 2020, and at one point I was saying we're moving it's like a hill, right? And
Hmm.
even going down, it's still forward movement, but we on the decline.
Right.
You can move forward, and it's been an uphill battle, but it's still forward, or you could just move
I
at a
like.
linear. And I feel like we've been moving either linear or in a downward motion. You know, as a species, you have people who in our individual lives are doing this, and and it's hard because that's how you're doing this, because you get in a fight.
Mhm.
It ain't easy. It's not easy, but just where we come into now, and did you think that this would be in your lifetime? Because right now, to me, it's just symbolic. A lot of the painting of Pennsylvania Avenue and Black Lives Matter, all of that shit is good because it boosts morale, but it's only symbolic. You do
Yes.
have the mayor. You have the mayor in Minneapolis talking about they dismantling the police. I want to see shit like that, and I want to see them follow suit. But what were you saying?
I went up through the decades and seen the changes of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s brought in the millennium. And as I'm in the neighborhood, my spirit told me something coming. Something,
Mm,
I didn't know exactly what it was, and I observe, and I've seen how Caucasians interact. You know, sometimes if they're in the neighborhood, they scared, they paranoid, they panicking, but I've seen Caucasians walking like. So I'm saying to myself, like, something else is coming. Something else. And boxing, book. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching them, jogging and exercising and jogging. And I just tell folks, yo, y'all better start exercising. There's something coming. You got to exercise. Something's coming because you exercise for health, yes, but in this society, you know, certain people at war, in order for you to survive or maintain, you got to be healthy. You can't be, what I'm saying? And I seen it coming exactly what it was, but I knew it was coming. Like Bob Marley said, there's a natural going through the air.
yeah,
It was coming. It was coming. And,
yeah,
you know, the universe and nature will always show it will always show you. Folks just don't pay attention.
always,
Yeah,
always,
it always show you. It always show you,
always.
you know? And I was at a seminar in Cuba, and da da da. And the guy said, "You know what changes neighborhoods and communities?" And it's like they're talking about, da, 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 da. Policies is what changes
Said
neighborhood.
said
Policy,
policies.
yeah, policy
All right.
in neighborhood. And the man said, this was in October, this where you ever lived.
I'm sorry, your phone went out. What was that?
He said, there's something coming that's going to change the way you ever lived.
Ah,
They told me this in October. I'm looking at in the real estate business.
okay.
And, you know, real estate. But as I'm going forward and seeing this situation, then it dawned on me. It's like, wow, This thing right here is a game changer. And I remember the creator said, "Remember when?" Da, 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 da. I said, "Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
I think we ain't seen nothing yet.
More, there's more to
I
come.
think I think this the
There's
just
more.
the tip of the iceberg is really more than we can wrap our privileged minds. And I say privilege to an extent. I'm just talking about as Americans who quote unquote living better than everybody else around the world. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Real comfortable, if you will. I think even the poorest among us is doing a lot better than um, a lot of people
That's a fact.
everywhere else. But um, I think we should be getting ready for the real shakeup, for the real
Yeah.
shakeup.
This is when the know-how makes you survive from it, makes you survive or not. Because if you going forward believing and believing, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. This is when no going forward.
The-
And back to what you were saying, caterpillars, no matter how much they are bloodline, no matter how much they are family, butterflies don't move with caterpillars. And some of our people, my nephew, but some gonna be caterpillars.
and that's why I think it's important to align yourselves with people who share the same values as you right
Yeah,
now. There's safety in numbers.
yeah,
Many hands make for light work. So I think it's really time for communal organization. And it ain't got to be everybody. You know what I
right.
mean? Just those among you who you feel safest. Those among you who are practical about the work. Those
Yeah,
of you who share the same ideas. It's time for that collective.
yeah.
It's time for that collective. And the ones who's the caterpillars or butterflies, depending on how we look at it. They'll show themselves, and we'll
Hmm.
know what to do with them in the right time. Because yeah, man, I just had a newborn. My son is going to young adulthood. I got a baby girl, and I do want a better world for them. If we can pull those strings and make those things happen in our lifetime. you know um but what are we willing to sacrifice, what are we willing to work for, uh how are we willing to sort out amongst ourselves.
Hmm.
It's definitely in this world, because we in the carnal world. We focus on the material things, we focus on the things that we can see. But it's a war going on. It's good and evil. It's the unseen things that's manifesting into the seeing world, the unseen evil in that white man heart that allowed him to put his knee on
Hmm.
that black man neck and slowly um, take his ear.
Left.
So the unseen forces that's doing this is
Hmm.
materializing in the carnal world, and we doing this.
Right.
And amongst ourselves as a people, it's time
Hmm.
for us to separate.
Separate the caterpillars from the butterfly, left.
And the others who's it's time for them to do that. And then we talk about allyship, because it's finna get. Listen, man, I'm just saying. I know white supremacy or white inferiority mentality that they call supremacy and racism is a wicked, 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 powerful, 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 and violent, violent, violent beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where we at right now, man. We got 10 minutes.
In that
I
in that word,
do.
that word
Go ahead.
beast, the word beast
Mm-hmm.
is the word best, right?
With no A.
No, no, the word best, BEST. Now
Mm-hmm.
we got to bring
Okay.
our to that beast. That's where we get rid of it easy. We got to bring
Bring
our
our A
best.
game.
Yeah, we got to bring our best. That beast. It's done. It's not about love. To me, real talk is love is bullshit, my nephew. It's all about respect. Your eyelash gotta respect the eye. Stay in your place. What's gonna happen? Oh, I love you. Going there. Oh, I love you. Get the fuck out. Stay in your.
Mm,
Ain't no love here. It's respect. Stay in your place. The eye stay in the eye socket. The ear stay open. We work beautiful. Stay in your place. Four fingers and a thumb. We'll work together. With your place. I ain't trying to be under you like this, or no, I'm going over here. This is my neighborhood. This is our neighborhood. We work together, but go home. Stay, no love. It's respect. They say they love you. You tell me something's wrong. It's about respect. And this society is this. I hear what's going on inside. No, the world needs motherfucking respect.
You was telling me about the king of the jungle one time. We was talking. You said the lion is the king of the jungle. Respect is the king of the jungle.
Jungle Neff. Respect is the king of the jungle. Respect is the king of life. That back to the breath of air. Respect. Inhale, exhale. Respect each other. Respect each other. That's the way you're gonna live. Try to disrespect each other and see what happens. It's all about your love come from your newborn child. Love come from those who cannot help themselves, and you feed them and give them life. And they know they cannot help them. That's why they love you. That's why they love you, because they cannot help themselves. They would die without it. And you fed them. You gave them life. That's where love comes. Bullshit out here, shaking their hand. Nah, respect. Give me. I don't need love from y'all. No.
I heard you twice.
Respect. Know that, yo, you bring it, you're going to get it. Yes. Yes. That's all that matters. That's all we need is respect. It. We can love each other. That's what family's supposed to do. Out there, respect.
In regards to the future and what's next, do you feel hopeful or hopeless?
Nah. Neff, you know what?
And it don't have to be an either or. You know, I pose it as that, but you know, because that leads into again. I think I asked you. I'm not sure exactly how you
Nah.
mentioned it. Hopeful, hopeless, and
Hopeless.
where your mental, where's your mental, emotional, psychological? Yeah.
No, it's not, like I said. It's, I know, Neff. I don't believe. I have faith. You know, I know, and our people that don't know or is in the belief state, it's only going to take longer to get to where they rightfully have to be. You know what I'm saying? Because Caucasians can't wipe us off the face of the earth. Number one, it's impossible.
They can't. Yeah, yeah.
It's dumb as hell. It's dumb as hell. It's dumb as hell. But you know that hope stuff. To me, when a person tell me, you know, hope and which deep down they scared. They're hoping for a good outcome. We
All
don't
right,
need.
so let me rephrase that.
We don't
Do
need.
you know it's gonna get better? Do you know it's gonna get worse?
Yeah, it's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better.
It's just destiny. That's why you got a left hand and a right hand. What you put in your left hand, you're gonna get from your left hand. What you put in your right hand, you're gonna get from your right hand. Yeah, it's gonna get better. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this, right? Sometimes Caucasians will say they hate so-called blacks, right? And you may say they hate it, but you know why some of them hate blacks? Because blacks hate themselves. And I'm gonna say this: if you're a giant, right, and you're acting like a midget when you're supposed to be a giant, people are not gonna like you. They're not gonna like you because you're denying them. And that's the same thing with our people. Our people is denying society our greatness, and people will get mad at you when you underachieve. People will hate you for that, and you be like, "Why you hate me? What did I do to him? What did I do to her?" You're not living up to your right. You see for the entire body, but when you close your eyes and you try, and you putting the body in jeopardy. When you're supposed to hear and you don't want it, you putting the body in jeopardy. Body of one. And when we don't do what we're supposed to do, it affects every
I believe that. I believe that.
everybody. Like I said, when they sometimes say, think about it. Yeah, some of them saying it for me, but because we're not living up to our God-given rightful potential.
And here's what I do know, man. When you take their ass to war, they respect you. No
Yeah,
crackers will shake your hand because that's their language. You know, blood is their language, war is their language, and they hate you because you hate yourself because you won't stay. Even though you know we could go back and forth, they taught you to hate yourself, whatever, but you believe the lie, and now they looking at you funny for believing the bullshit that they know, right? Because they know who we are. They hate, they love everything about you but you. You know,
Exactly.
as my sister would say, my sister Rolani is, you know, she put me on. They love everything about you but you.
Yeah, it's true. It's a,
Yeah,
it's a, it's a fact. How many of them like chocolate? How many of them like coffee? It's our
they love
colors.
everything dark. Yeah, yeah, tall, dark, handsome. They getting the tans. They getting their lips done. They doing. Yeah, they mimic it.
And when we
They know
sit,
who you are.
when our people sit on their blessings, they mad because they wish they could have it. They ain't gonna tell you that. They'll show you they wish they could have it. They
That's
wish.
that's a that's a that's a wicked kind of love. That's that jealousy, envy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a dirty
yeah,
thing. A dirty if you
yeah,
want to call it love, if that.
yeah. And our people need to. Our people. We only been knocked down for 4 minutes, 4 seconds, 400 years. 2,000 years ago, it wasn't this bullshit. So people are locked up in that. Oh, we came from slavery. No, we didn't come from no fucking slavery. We came through motherfucking slavery, and people are caught up. We come from slavery. Slavery didn't make you. You came through it. Our people came
Mm.
from it. You know what I'm saying? So get off of that
Yeah.
bullshit. That's why they get caught up in it. Oh, we were slaves. No, you came to. No, you came through. You only went 4 stops on the train of life. Only 4 stops. You know, so stop with the bullshit. Let's go back 2,000 years ago. Ain't no go back. Oh, such and such. Let's go back when we taught them the Bronze Age. Let's go to there. They're supposed to teach that in fucking church. The Bronze Age, when the Moors was teaching the. Let's talk about that. You know
I
what I'm
hear
saying?
you. Yeah.
Come on.
I'm I'm most grateful for your time. I know this hour flies by. Um,
Uh,
yeah, that fast, man. Plug LaVinci real fast, man. Tell them a little bit about what you got going, your entrepreneurship, how to find you, and what your product is.
okay. Yes, my clothing line is called Gleventry. It's Gleventri. It's my name, Glenn. My daughter name is Heaven, and my son name is Dimitri. Now, Glentification is Gleventry is a clothing line that we have various like a garden of shirts, different flavors, and it's all inspirational. It's all uplifting. It's nothing negative or derogatory. It's building us up, giving us a way of thinking different, seeing life different. I'm working on a website right now. The website is not yet, but I got an email. It's gleventry@yahoo.com. You can hit me up. I'm on Facebook under Glenn Bailey. I'm going to be doing a market website on Facebook soon, so you'll be able to see this. You're going to love it.
And I'm about to jump in business with you, man. We about to bless them with something in a second, right? Some stuff we've been talking about.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Brother Keon. This is my guest, my loved one, my heart, my elder, in my King's Council, my uncle, Glenn. Thank you for joining us
Up to no end.
today and just
Welcome.
spitting your heart. Absolutely. And just, just sharing with the people. I think conversations between black men are important. And this is where y'all gonna get it. Brother, 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 signing off.